What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to install new door handles. Alright, so I have my son Krager here with me today, and we're going to go ahead and knock these door handles out. I've mentioned it to you guys before, and it's something that we need to go ahead and address. So here are the door handles. Now these can be either really simple or they can be really hard. It all really depends on what setup you have. Now on my door handles, as you can see, someone has put bolts in it. It doesn't really matter either way. You can either do the bolts or you can do the rivets. I'm not sure yet what we're gonna do. I prefer the rivets, but I will tell you this. You have to be very careful whenever you're using the rivet gun, because as you're under here trying to pop these rivets, it can jump. And I actually had this happen on my black car. Now obviously you'd want to tape all this up really good, but still and yet the rivet gun could jump and scratch your paint. I will probably just put the bolts back in the car. They seem to be fine. We're gonna go ahead and get these worn out handles off the car. That'll really help clean it up. Now I'm probably only going to show one in the video because we are limited on time today. So we're going to knock this thing out for you, and obviously whatever we do on that side is going to be the same on this side. Krager's going to video for me, and we're going to get started. Here are the door handles in this package. These come from LMR. This is not sponsored content. I purchased these myself. I did not know that, but these actually come with the rivets already. So we may do the rivets. I'm not sure yet, guys. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. And they have the little plastic gasket back there. Let's go ahead and get those door handles out so that we can get these installed. So I cannot find my pry tool that has the bend in it, so we're just going to attempt to make one. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. Hello?
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" baller.
All right, guys, it's not pretty, but I think this should work. You don't need a lot of things to remove these door panels on these cars. Down here in these holes, a lot of times these bolts have been changed out. So you're gonna have to kind of dig around in here and find the right size. It can be challenging, believe it or not. These bolts can go in crooked, and it's gonna be really hard to get a socket in there sometimes. So as you can see, if you've never taken one of these apart, they have little hooks that hook into your door panel. So that's how the armrest comes off. All you have to do over here is just unhook everything, and then your armrest just lifts off. So this is the armrest pad, in case you guys are wondering on like how to swap it out if you want to replace your arm pad. There's just screws here and here. At some point we will be doing that, but for right now, that's not on the list. Next up, you're just gonna wanna come over here and take this bezel off around your door handle. These also can be purchased separately. I think LMR sells them. They're only a few bucks. Now sometimes people put screws in here, so be sure to check before you kind of go pulling on this, because if somebody's put screws from the outside in, then obviously you're going to tear your door panel up. You don't have to use this tool. You can use your hands, but be very careful. Try to feel for each clip that's down here and pull around the clip, because you will tear your door panel, and I will show you when we get this off why you should do that. And like I said, you just want to put pressure on both sides of that clip. And don't worry if any of your clips fall out. That's just part of it with these cars. Okay, so then you're just going to kind of lift up and your door panel is off. So before we go any further on this, I want to show you guys the back side of these door panels. This is where your clips go in. Your clips push in and then lock. If you pull too hard and you don't grasp both sides of that clip, whenever you're pulling this off, you can either break your clips or break the wood. So the front side of your door panels here, as you can see, has this carpet piece and this piece down here. Well, they actually are removable. Most of this door panel will come off and come apart. As you can see, this thing just has tabs on it, and you fold all these tabs out like this, and then you can push out these panels. let's say your door panel's in great shape, but the carpet's torn or worn, you can actually pop this out and put a new piece on. At some point, we're gonna work with LMR and hopefully do some new door panels. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna go back with the lock nuts on this just simply because I do not want to risk scratching my car up. So that's what we're gonna do today. All I'm gonna do is put the screwdriver in over here and hold it. And on this side, take the nuts off. That's your rod, and that's where it connects to the door handle. Anyway, guys, you just want to push and release. And we have one old door handle off the car. All right, so we have our new door handle here. We're just going to go ahead and reinstall the same way that it come off. So once you get everything hooked back up, you're just going to put your bolts back in, and you should be good to go. So there is a little bit of adjustment in these handles. So you want to make sure that you have everything lined up the way you want to before you tighten it all up. Same way with the rivet gun also, especially if these holes have been drilled out. When you pop that rivet in, that rivet is supposed to be for a specific size hole. So if you put a rivet in that's really too small for the hole, then you can get some play in it. So honestly, the bolts are just fine to use if that's what you guys want to do. If you don't have a big rivet gun, like I said, you can always just pop in some bolts and some nuts.
Come on out, right now I'm getting angry. Take a step back, cause it could get dangerous.
Please don't shoot us, just meet the queen or still.
Why the hell is you hiding?
You know what? It may not be a big difference to some people, but it's a huge difference to me. This just looks so much better, so much cleaner with these new door handles on it. And I think that's a very, very good upgrade, guys. We're gonna go ahead and replace this top drip molding too for you guys. I've had them for a while. I've just not replaced them yet. They're really easy to do. So we're gonna go ahead, pull these off, and put the new ones on. So to get these off, the only thing that you have to remove is this one screw right here. And then you simply just pull. Now this is probably gonna get a little messy, especially if you're doing this in the heat. So if it's really hot outside and it's middle of the summer, you may want to throw a towel or something over your seat, because as you pull this, it gets real stringy sometimes. And as you can see, it's kind of cold out today, so it's not going to really do anything. But this stuff on the inside here will actually pull down and cause big long strings, and it can lay on your seats. It can ruin your interior. So be sure to just throw a towel or something over there, unless it's really cold out. And as you can see with the new one, it has a bunch of little clips all over it, all the way down, that whenever you push it up, it just locks in. Slide this back over your quarter glass like that, and just start to kind of roll everything into place.
Nah. If it's a cost to be a boss, I'll be hustling high. Without a doubt, I'm in and out through my puzzling eyes. You can see the future I ain't promised, predicted, but it gets wicked.
This piece is new now. You know, the trim around the windows has been painted. It has new run channel molding, new belt molding here, and new door handles. I mean, this is what really cleans one of these Foxbodies up. If you'll take the time and do things like this, this is what's gonna make your car stand out. Because anybody that's ever been around Foxbodies expects all this stuff to be rotten and worn out. Okay, so when you go to put your door panel back on, you wanna make sure that you pull all of your little push pins that got stuck in your door. You want to go ahead and pull those out, and you want to put those back into your door panel. So just come in with your tool like this, pop them out, and as you can see, they have two different ledges on them. So you're going to take this and slide it back into your door panel, and you just slide it back in. These can be purchased at the auto parts store. Also, with your sound deadening and your matting that goes on the inside of your door, I always try to keep that and put it back. LMR sells all of this stuff that goes back on your door panels. They sell your vapor liner and pretty much everything else. I just throw a piece of tape over it, and just enough to hold it in place. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this door panel back on and get this thing buttoned up. What you wanna do is lean your door panel in from the top like this, and you'll feel it, you kind of push in on your door and you'll feel it kind of lock in. Like so. Then you want to make sure that all of your little push pins are lined up in the holes. Then at that point, just give it a good pop. And they should all pop into place. If not, feel around in there and make sure that they're in the right spot.
I never cared about the money, never really needed fame. You think it would've changed me, but I've always been the same. My label tried to sue me, TMZ tried to sue me, blabbermouth and fucking sucker, cause they never.
Let's say you got your door panel back on and it just looks like crap. It's flopping around. It just doesn't sit right. It doesn't look good. And you know what? It just makes you feel like shit about your car, right? So many nice Foxbodies out there in the world. Why does mine have to be a piece of crap? Buddy, you are not the only one. I can promise you that most all of us Foxbody guys deal with the same problems that you're currently dealing with. We have shitty door panels. You know, our carpet needs to be replaced. We have pieces on our dash that are probably broken just like your car. Don't think you're alone in the world. And don't think that every Foxbody looks just like the ones you see at car shows. Trust me, these everyday Foxes still have problems, guys. I just wanted to kind of mention that because, you know, I know that's a big issue with a lot of guys. They want their cars to be perfect. Cars are old, okay? People don't expect them to be new cars anymore. It's perfectly fine. Work with what you've got and upgrade as you can. All right, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead, throw this armrest back on, and that's it, guys. We're gonna be out of here. To reassemble the armrest, all you're gonna do is plug everything in first. Right here, you have to be really careful because you'll get yourself in a mess. These connectors don't like to fit back properly, but they will go. Put your clips back in these holes, push it all together, and flip up. Once you flip up, push down a little, and that is now in place. Now all you have to do is come back and put your bolts back in. Okay, so next up is your little bezel here, and this thing actually goes in like this. Once you get it in here, you want to spin this bezel and then push back. You got the door panel back installed. Got the door handle on the car and the moldings. Well, all right guys, we're gonna wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.